開心啊！就見到呢一個咧好靚仔嘅即係個意大利嘅總領事啦嚇。咁啊，首先咧就同大家介紹一下佢先嚇。Benvenuto, is that right? My Italian, sorry. Welcome, Mr. Ficarra, the Consul General of Italy, to our show. And would you please introduce yourself?
Well, first of all, thank you very much for inviting me, and I'm very happy to be here. My name is
Right.
Ficarra, and I'm the Consul General of Italy in Hong Kong and Macau since September 2022, which means 2 years.
2 years already.
Yeah.
Nice. So, right now actually is a very good time to talk to you because obviously, there's still a big wave of people who would like to move or have a second residency in addition to Hong Kong, and also a lot of people who has moved to the UK are planning on leaving. So why don't you tell us, do you think Italy is a great place, an ideal place for us, Hong Kong people, Hong Kongers to move to, like relocated to?
Well, of course, if you ask the Consul General of Italy if Italy is a good place to move,
right.
I mean, the answer is quite obvious.
Right, of course.
I should say yes.
Of course, right. So tell me why.
Otherwise, they will fire me. And,
politically correct, right, yeah.
But no, this is, of course, with no joke. Of course, Italy is a very good location and a very nice country to move and to relocate for many different categories of people. And actually, the Italian government, since a few years now, is promoting more and more the opportunity for foreign nationals to move to Italy and also to repatriate Italian nationals living abroad.
Well, just give me a minute to translate. 咁
Sure.
佢就話其實咧意大利係一個非常之理想嘅地方啦。咁就係而家政府咧其實都係從好多方面咧係去推介咧點解意大利咧係適合呢一個移民嘅嚇。咁大家見到我嗰個背景咧，唔知點解咧喐得咁緊要嘅嗰個program 咁樣嚇。唔緊要嚇，我陣間咧，我叫翻個同事入嚟先。係啦，咁就會去搞翻掂佢嘅。好 ，so for relocation, you say it's a very good idea, but then let me just get 1 second， 唔喐啊，佢冇晒個背景。So then for holidays, do you think it's a great place for us as well?
Yes, of course. Italy is a very good place for both holidays and relocation. Italy has a lot of offer. Italy, of course, is a very well-known country. People love Italy in general.
We do.
But of course, there is a lot of things that sometimes are less known, less recognizable by the public. So our duty and our responsibility as a diplomatic personnel in foreign countries is to promote Italy as a whole and to show and to explain a little bit more what our country can offer in various occasions, holiday, relocation, and to live the full experience.
OK，咁佢就話意大利領事館當然啦，就會喺呢度咧支持大家嘅，譬如關於啲去旅行啊或者移民嘅嘢咧，佢哋咧就好多方面咧都會係做一啲介紹嘅。But then you haven't, we love Hong Kong, we love Italy, and then I think it's also a great place for relocation or for holidays. So, is there any, let's say, in terms of holidays, you would recommend, or for business, what would you recommend? Like Milan, or
yes.
I don't know. I have been to Milan. That's the only place.
I should say that probably Italy is one of the few countries in the world that is that has a sort of comprehensive attractions for people, both for business and for relocation. From the north to the south, you can find so many inputs and so many interests that ordinary people can experience.
Okay.
So there is nothing in particular that I would like to suggest, but just I suggest Italy as a whole, and then according to your experience, to your interest, to the reasons that you have to travel, then you can select a specific region, a specific city, and experience it.
OK， 咁佢就話咧，其實意大利整體咧個國家嚇由北邊至南面咧，你知好大噶嘛，唔係好似我哋香港咁細啦。咁佢就話其實你去到邊度玩咧，其實 或者做生意咧，都有好多唔同嘅體驗、唔同嘅感受嘅嚇，唔同嘅機會啊。咁所以佢話好難話一概而論。總言之係好啦，你揾啲時間揾啲錢就過去玩下啦嚇，到時先話俾你聽啦嚇。So we get some questions from the floor and people saying hi to you.
Thank you. Hi.
So Mr. TC say you're very handsome. Hi Mr. TC and OTC and we got KK Ho, CC, C5K. And Mans and this guy, Mr. W, and Benson Chong. He said there's a lot of illegal immigrants in Italy. Is that a huge question right now?
Well, it is something that Italy is facing together with other European Union countries. So it is a challenge, but the government is implementing policies in order to control
right.
And to make it workable.
Okay, so it's not a problem at all.
Well, I don't want to say that it's not a problem at all. It is one of the main topics that the government faces. But of course, there are solutions, there are options, and there is a dialogue open with other European Union countries.
Okay, so 咁佢就話其實咧非法移民梗有啦，成個歐洲都有㗎啦。咁政府咧已經喺好多層面咧去解決呢個問題啊，大家唔使擔心嘅嚇。Okay, so then, you have, just touched on immigration, but the illegal ones. For the legal ones, the immigration programs, the golden visa of Italy is very attractive right now. So because Greece has just increased it to 800,000 euros for buying properties. Would you like to talk a little bit about it, or I can talk about it as well?
I mean, if you would like to talk, no, I mean, I don't want to stop you to talk about that.
No, well, I hear your opinion first.
Yes. No,
they're asking you how much do they need for investment immigration to Italy, this guy?
Yes, I mean, of course, I will not go into details, but just to mention the fact that at the moment we are promoting a sort of investors visa, which gives the possibility of foreign people, no EU nationals, who wants to invest in Italy specific amounts of money to receive a visa and then connect it with the visa residency permit for a certain number of years. It's 2 years plus 3 years. And renewable until for extra 5 years. And in terms of numbers, the investment needed is quantified in minimum 2 million euros for investment in government bonds. Then there is also a possibility of 1 million euros in charity and philanthropy activities such as culture, social, scientific research, or others. Then there is also an amount of money which has been established in 250,000 euros for investments in startups and innovation. So these are the range of investments in terms of quantity that is needed in order to apply.
Well, I think your government definitely should give you a promotion, like as soon as you go back, because this is so well prepared, very impressive. 咁佢就講咗詳盡嘅呢個投資移民嘅方案啦。咁第一咧就係攞200萬歐出嚟咧，你就可以咧投落去政府債券啦。第二個辦法咧就係100萬咧就支持當地嘅一啲慈善活動啊、體育文化藝術嗰啲咁樣嘅 projects 啦。咁就第3個選擇咧就係投25萬歐咧就去一啲佢叫做 start-up 嘅一啲公司啦咁樣樣嚇。咁3個辦法咧對比頭先我講喺希臘買房嘅80萬咧，其實都係一個唔同嘅選擇。但係佢有個好處咧就係話其實咧你2年加3年之後，即係佢係2年簽證啦，就再加3年咧就如果你住滿5年就可以申請永居㗎啦嚇。咁都係一個好嘅選擇嚟嘅。So I just translate the very interesting part of it. Then, immigration could be good for some people, but for right now, a lot of people are thinking about, having a good time in Italy rather than just moving there. And usually, for our investors, our followers here, they would be more interested in you have all these most powerful and famous brands in the world for the longest time in terms of fashion, automobiles, and beauty products, perfumes, and everything. What makes you Italians, are so exceptionally talented in that area? Can you explain a little bit?
Yes, sure. First of all, I would like to thank audience and talking in general terms, because I know and I experience every day the appreciation that the local audience has for Italian brands and for Italian culture, and for what represents Italy here. The exception you mentioned, I would say that the exception is related to the fact that many businesses and brands, they have a long history of family business as a background, and they all developed in specific regions, and what made the difference is the specific links that each brand has with the territory where they were born and then where they developed. This is something that we really try to, this is the value added that I would like to mention. And the other thing that is important is that the kind of industrial production in Italy is strongly linked with something that we call district. In Italy, we have many different districts related to specific productions, and that is a sort of system of production industrialization that differentiated Italy in comparison to other countries.
Oh, I see. Okay, interesting. So
and many business today in Italy are still family businesses.
Oh, interesting. 咁佢就話：我問佢點解全球最有名嘅好多大牌子嘅 Gucci、Armani 啊，或者你講車嘅 Maserati 啊，又或者你講香水即係 Armani 嗰啲啦嚇咁樣樣。其實點解都會喺意大利嘅咧？點解意大利咁 exceptionally 有呢啲天分咧？咁佢就話其實好多係 family business 嚟，佢係一代傳一代嘅，咁同埋佢有唔同嘅區啦。咁有啲唔同嘅區咧，就係啲 district 啦嚇，好似香港咁樣唔同嘅區咧，就有啲唔同嘅產業咧係會專注係做好佢嘅嚇。咁所以就 that's why you have this long tradition of success, right? Which is pretty impressive.
And as much as you talk and you mention long tradition, another important thing is to mention as well the artisanal expertise that has been transferred from one generation to the other, and again, which has made a difference in the past and continues to make the difference in comparison to other countries.
Oh, I see. 咁佢都係一代傳一代啦，所以佢哋咧就係即係可以保持到個競爭力，不停咁改良啊，好似我哋香港咁完善完再完善，日日都完善嘅嚇。咁 and then like the other thing we also want to know more about is like last time I'm very grateful you invited me to this beautiful musical. I mean it's more like a concert with your celebration of your anniversary, not anniversary, your National Day. So that you have very strong in culture, music, and arts, and so on. And what contributes to such talents in your country?
Well,
you must
difficult
be very talented yourself.
I'm not really talented.
So
I mean, unfortunately,
so
because I cannot play any instrument and I'm not good in drawing or painting.
Well, maybe you're
myself.
a singer then.
They're not even singer. I would prefer not to do that.
Or maybe you play football.
Yeah, sometimes I play football. Yes, that's true. But I mean, it is something that actually is I regret not to have is abilities and that people in Italy and everywhere in the world they develop since they are very very young. They are kids and again, in order to develop that, you have to have the right environment around you, and that is probably what is the difference in Italy in comparison to other countries. That the environment and the context is there, and you have a lot of inputs related to the history of music, history of arts, history of culture.
Right.
We do not have to forget that Italy has the largest, but also the largest number of UNESCO cultural sites.
Oh, that's true.
Which is the first country in the world with more than 50 sites in the list. Which again create the right environment and the right context for people to be inspired and to be motivated in learning and then considering what they learn as a professional activity in the future.
I see. 咁佢就好謙虛啦，佢就話自己又唔係音樂家，又唔係畫畫，又有時打下足球咁樣樣。你知意大利足球都好勁㗎嘛，係咪先？咁佢就話其實因為意大利咧主要係個環境啦，即係我成日講法文叫 terrain 咁樣樣啦，即係好似係個土壤，佢成個文化或者好似點講咧，佢有咁多年嘅歷史啦，歷史悠久啦，同埋整體個國家咧係好支持呢啲體育文化藝術方面啊音樂嘅發展嘅咁樣樣，所以咧有好多咁嘅資源啦，同埋細路仔咧佢哋好細個咧就會有呢啲機會咧去發揮自己嘅天分嘅嚇。So I've got questions from the floor. Neil asked you, so maybe you're a good chef. Italian
Myself?
food is like very famous in the world.
Yeah, of course, Italian food is very famous in the world, and
Yeah.
Myself, again, I'm not a good chef, but I like cooking. I'm surrounded by equipment in my kitchen, and I
Right.
like to use them to try to,
Right.
to make some experiments. But
Okay.
It's
Do you make
for-
lasagna?
I can make lasagna.
Okay,
Yes.
I'm inviting myself to your party next.
Sure. Yes. You are welcome, of course.
Okay, thank
yes.
you.
And
Thank
Neil
you.
as well is welcome if you
Okay,
would like to
Neil
join. Yes.
as well, right? So 佢就話佢又唔係話特別叻嘅，佢唔係大廚啦，但係佢都識整嘢食嘅。咁我最中意食 lasagna，咁我下次有 party 咧叫埋我去啊咁。Well, that's very interesting. And then we have so many things we want to learn about food. Can you tell us a little bit about your food and drink culture? And like what is some highly recommended restaurants or venues for us to visit?
Well, this is a very comprehensive question that is almost impossible to reply to it in 30 seconds. Basically, everywhere in Italy you can find your preferred food or your suitable food or your suitable
Okay, like pizza.
drink. Pizza, of course, is very famous and is a sort of brand for Italy because everyone knows pizza. By the way, in Hong Kong, nowadays you have a lot of locations where you can taste the real Italian pizza.
Right.
But of course, pizza is not the only one that we try to promote.
Okay.
And actually, this year we are going to organize soon the Italian Food Week, which is an initiative that we have every year.
Oh, interesting. I have to mark my calendar.
Exactly. It is a
Right.
format promoted by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation in Italy and
Okay.
by other ministries. And basically for 1 week we organize activities in order to promote Italian food. It will be the 3rd week of November.
Okay.
And
Oh,
one of
okay.
the main activity will be to organize a sort of master classes for 5 days with
Oh,
5
wow.
Italian chefs in Hong
I'm
Kong.
in. Please send me an email. I will totally sign up and maybe invite some of my followers as well. That's awesome. Let me translate a little bit. 咁佢就話咧，其實意大利嘅飲食文化咧，實在太詳盡啦，冇可能幾秒鐘講完啦咁。但係咧，佢就會喺領事館咧，佢哋喺11月中啊，就會搞一個叫做一連5天，就請到啲名廚喺意大利過嚟咧，教我哋香港人啦，或者即係點樣去整佢哋啲好好食嘅嘢㗎嚇。咁this Neil is very looking forward to it. 咁我都好期待啊嚇。So actually we would like to have some actual recommendation. Like I've only been to Milan and I remember it's just like whole day eating. So I went with a good friend. So we went like basically we went from Paris to Milan. As soon as we landed, it's just like everywhere, like good food, and we just keep shopping and eating and drinking. It's that kind of life like that. That's why they call it dolce vita, right?
Well, it's not
You don't
only
have to
eating.
work much.
It's not only eating, and
Right.
and of course, in my experience abroad, many people know very well Milan, Rome, Venice. But of course, again, you have so many other locations that are eligible for spending good time in Italy
Okay,
and
like
for
where?
experiencing. Well, in the north, very popular in Hong Kong is Piemonte as well, with Alba region, for example, which is very famous for its wine, but also for the food and for truffles.
Okay.
People in Hong Kong really like truffles, and Piemonte is one
I
of
love
the main
truffles
regions.
as well.
But if you go to the center, of course, you go down, you go to Tuscany, then to
Tuscany, yeah, I know Tuscany.
Rome, there's Florence, and Siena and other cities there. Then you go south, you go to Rome and the Lazio region. Then you go to Naples. Then you go further down, and you can, for example, visit Puglia or even Sicily, where I come from. And
you came from Sicily?
Yes.
Wow, that's like the most beautiful not island. Do you call it island?
Yes.
Island, right? That's the most beautiful island. No wonder you have beautiful people.
And the other side, Sardinia as well. So each location has its own specificities, so peculiarities. It is interesting, I believe, for tourists, for international audience and people, travelers, to discover each of them and to experience, to go into more details in order to discover how things might change in the same country.
OK， 咁佢講咗好多地方嘅名，我是但講幾個，因為我記唔晒啦。咁 Naples 啦、Florence 啦，跟住仲有嗰個Sardinia 啦、Sicily， 咁佢係 Sicily 嚟㗎啦。咁我諗大家都熟悉㗎啦，呢個咁靚嘅島嚇。咁啊其他嗰啲嘅，咁啊睇你有幾多時間去玩啦，當然係咪？咁啊and then we want to know something like because most of my followers are like savvy investors. So like what would be some really good investment opportunities in case they have millions of dollars or euros to invest there?
Well, right now, investing in Italy is a really good option for let's say wealthy people or individuals who want to invest. The economy is fully recovering after COVID, and Italy actually can count on the funds that the government, the country has received from the European Union within a comprehensive plan which helps European Union countries again to recover from COVID.
Okay.
Italy is one of the largest recipients of beneficiary of the funds, which of course are spent in projects related to different sectors, infrastructure, culture, innovation, technology, so digital and environmental transition. So these are all sectors that are developing right now, and I believe are good opportunities for foreign investors to concentrate and to take advantage of it.
Okay， 咁佢就講咗好多唔同嘅地方可以投資啦。But let's say if you have to choose like the top two, what would you recommend for investments?
Difficult to say, but for the moment I would go for probably for innovation and innovation technology startups and this double transition environment and digitalization.
OK， 咁佢講咗頭兩樣咧，其實都係全球都係呢啲啦，咁啊都係 IT 嘅嘢啦，咁同埋一啲 innovation 一啲科創嘅嘢啦，咁啊同埋啲我諗佢係環保科技啊嗰類啦，即係都離唔開，我諗全球都係呢啲方向㗎啦嚇。咁但係因為佢哋而家有歐盟好多嘅 funding 實幫佢哋去即係喺疫情之後去叫重建啦，咁所以我覺得可以值得去大家或者做多少少 research 去睇下冇啲咁嘅嘢啱你嚇。咁啊 and then we want to
if I may add, which
yes.
At the same time they are related to other sectors because when we talk about innovation can be related to agriculture, to design, to pharmaceutical. So it's a sort of comprehensive sector which then can be declined in different in other kind of sub-sectors.
Right, so it's just like a technical innovation in different sectors. 其實都係啦，主要咧就係科創啦，咁然之後咧係應用去一啲唔同嘅地方嘅，無論係農業啊、設計啊，或者係一啲食物啊各方面嘅叫做一啲新嘅發展啦咁樣樣嚇。So we would like to know, like, because Hong Kong people are very interested in real estates. So what kind of money are we talking about? If you want to buy something in, say, like in let's say the mid-levels in Hong Kong, in a nice area, for maybe a 2-bedroom apartment for a couple, what kind of money are we talking about?
Well, again, it really depends on the city where you buy
Milan,
the property. Of course, Milan and Rome are probably the most expensive.
Okay.
rough figures can be from 300 to 500 starting point.
Okay.
But again, it depends on the area where you want to buy. Maybe the positive thing that I've been also reading in several reports is that the benefit or the positive news is that the real estate market is quite stable at the moment, which is something that should reassure investors.
OK， 咁因為而家香港跌咗咁多啦，樓市跌咗30%，可能仲會跌到落多2成我估嚇。咁你如果買咗層樓嘅，攞咗啲錢出嚟，唔知投邊好咧？意大利絕對一個好時機嚟㗎嚇。咁you have a rough indication?
Maybe something again that I would like
let's
to.
Say 500 square foot, 2-bedroom. Like in a very good area.
I would prefer not to give numbers that are not confirmed and solid. But what I would like to add is that in my experience, talking to people and talking to potential investors, is that investors are looking not only investing in big cities and in apartments, but there is a growing interest in buying real estate in rural areas. Due to the fact that habits and the lifestyle of people has changed, and COVID of course has had an important impact on that, and therefore there is a request, growing request of properties in areas which are more remote.
OK， 咁佢就話其實都有一個機會啦，即係又係平買啦嚇，因為佢就話而家好多偏遠嘅地方咧，喺市中心以外咧，當然咁咧就有啲即係抵買嘅嘢啦。咁其實同香港都係啊，你走到去新界梗係平過喺中環買啦，咁佢話因為人口嘅改變啊，各方面啦，咁大家都可以上網睇下實際嘅價錢啦。咁佢就冇俾一個 indicative 嘅價錢嘅暫時。好咁so then because we love international education, and a lot of people finish high school, they want to go to universities, and then we're talking about maybe the top-notch ones that we are more used to and more familiar with are like the US and the UK. So what is how would you rank the universities in Italy, or do you think they are suitable for Hong Kong students? And can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. The higher education has improved a lot in terms of offer, and in particular, what makes the difference now in comparison to the past, in comparison to to when I was a student myself, is that almost all universities in Italy, and for sure the biggest universities, are able to offer lectures and courses in English.
So in English?
Yes, this is this really makes the difference, and makes the universities more welcoming to international students. So Hong Kong students as international students are very welcome. And as a consulate, we are promoting universities. We are in constant contact with universities here in Hong Kong, but we would like to be a little bit more active with secondary schools, since Hong Kong has some of the best secondary international schools, and also local schools are so important. So from the north, again from the north to the south, the choice is very wide. Usually universities in the north are a little bit more known and popular abroad, such as Bocconi in Milan, but also Politecnico in Milan again, Politecnico in Turin. Then going down, Bologna has the university which is the oldest university in the world.
Oh, what is it called?
Bologna University.
Bologna, okay, yes.
And Rome with Sapienza, Tor Vergata, Lewis, and University of Naples, and then again universities in Sicily. So they are all very well qualified and able to offer high standard courses and education to students.
Right， 咁佢就講咗好多唔同嘅地方啦，因為意大利好大嘅，唔係好似香港咁，你就講來講去都係港大啊、中大啊、科大啊、城大咁幾間啦咁樣樣，佢就講咗好多間出名嘅，咁不過咧我就想講咧，佢話喺意大利嘅大學咧，佢係用英文教學㗎，咁所以對我哋嚟講非常之方便啦，咁香港人英文都係非常之好㗎啦嚇。So how many years is it? 4 years college you have? 3 years?
We have 3 plus 2.
Oh, 3+2.
Yes.
So 3 is university, 2 is master, or?
Yes.
佢同英國一樣嘅3+2啊，咁啊我諗而家好多人都會讀埋 master 㗎啦，咁啊，and the education, the tuition is not too high, not like in the England or like in the US.
Well, of course, if you go to private universities, a little bit higher, such as Bocconi or Lewis, they are private university, and the fees are a little bit higher. But for public university, they are much less. But of course, even private university, they have a lot of programs in terms of scholarships to offer to students, and I mean, if you go into details, I'm sure that everyone can familiarize with the opportunities that they offer.
OK 喎，咁佢話其實喺私校嘅大學咧就梗係貴少少啦，咁但係就算係出名嗰啲都唔係真係好貴嘅，咁啊同埋如果你話公校嗰啲仲加特別平添啦嚇。咁啊 we got an interesting question from the floor. What do you with this HJK6 he asked you what do you feel about pineapple on pizza and why Italians get offended by it?
First of all,
I love it myself.
I don't have any specific feelings, and the other thing is that probably is useful to clarify is that we are not offended by by the fact that there is pineapple on pizza.
Do you have like
so I mean, it's just a personal taste of everyone. Everyone is free to taste whatever he or she
but it's not very
wants.
Italian, isn't it?
It's not Italian, but it doesn't mean that people are not free to do that without offending. And I mean, absolutely, it's not an issue that you know that can be considered as an offense. Totally disagree with this approach.
Okay, right. So 咁佢就話其實佢哋意大利本身就冇一隻叫做菠蘿嘅pizza 啦，但係佢話如果你哋中意嘅，你上面擺乜都得嘅，佢哋都唔會話覺得真係好得罪佢嘅，咁我就當然同意啦嚇。I personally loved it because you know I went to school in Hawaii and it's just like so popular everywhere, and then they actually have Peking duck as well. So,
yeah, sure.
So anything they want to put on top.
But I mean, again, personal taste of everyone must be respected, and I personally don't like it. But at the same time, if I have to drink a cappuccino after 5 o'clock, I do. I mean, even if in Italy usually don't do.
True. Okay, interesting. And then we have another question. Let's say, is it not so convenient to live in Italy if we just speak English?
Sorry, again?
If we just speak English, if we don't know Italian like myself, is it okay or is it convenient to live in Italy?
Is it okay? I mean, you can survive for sure. But I mean, I would encourage people to learn Italian. I mean, once you are there, why you don't take advantage and benefit from that?
Yeah, I can say Mamma Mia.
It's a good start.
I mean, I don't even know what that means.
It's a good start. And actually, for people who are in Hong Kong, I mean, the one field of responsibility that we have is to, of course, to promote Italian language, which we do at universities, at schools, and I mean, people who wish to learn, they can refer to a specific school which is called La Dante, based in Art Center. They are very good, supported by the government, and I mean, it's a good investment.
咁佢就話其實意大利啲人都識英文咧，基本上你如果唔學都唔會話即係你唔講意大利文，其實好多人識英文嘅。不過你梗係最好學埋佢啦。如果要學意大利文咧，咁佢就話喺藝術中心啊 Art Centre 香港嗰度 in Hong Kong Art Centre Hong Kong，
Yes.
就係有一啲課程咧都係非常之好嘅。
try.
And then we have so many more questions. So how would you describe the lifestyle in Italy and how is it different as compared to Hong Kong?
Lifestyle. I mean, to describe again, lifestyle is a overall question. is very difficult to
okay, like
reply.
let's say we work too hard here.
But the thing that I can thinking about this question, I mean, I see a lot of similarities with Hong Kong specifically. Lifestyle means that you have specific habits every day. You are a healthy person, and you do sports. And in Hong Kong, many people do sports, and it's I mean, quite popular activities. You care about what you dress, and in Hong Kong, people care about
you dress well. That's why.
You care about what you eat, and in Hong Kong, many people care about what they eat, and actually, they have in Hong Kong the positive advantage is that you can really experience a different kind of cuisine for all over the world, which sometimes in Italy you cannot do because it's not so, you know, not so. Sometimes in some cities it's not so international. So in big cities like Rome, Milan, Naples, Florence, yes, but in other locations might be more difficult to to eat Thai
Okay.
or other types of
Japanese.
cuisine or Japanese. Yes.
Right. 咁佢就話其實咧即係 lifestyle 呢樣嘢好難話即係2分鐘講晒啦。但係佢話即係同香港人差唔多啦。佢哋係中意乜衣食住行都係好㗎啦，最好係咪先？咁佢都講話香港咧有個好特別嘅地方就係好international 㗎，我哋嚇咁啊咩國家嘅菜都有啦。咁佢話你喺意大利咧，除非大城市啦，咁啊細嗰啲城市咧都唔係話咩都有得食咁樣樣㗎嚇。咁啊咁呢個即係正常嘅，度度都如是啦嚇。We have a question from the floor. For the 2 million euros bonds for immigration, is it a long-term or short-term bond? Is it for the whole family? I mean, I can answer that one, or you can answer it too.
I mean, it is for the whole family when the visa is granted,
Yeah.
and then the next step is to apply for fiscal benefits in Italy with a flat tax that has been recently introduced,
Okay.
and which refers also to members of family of the family who produce incomes.
OK，咁佢就話其實咧呢個咧就係全家人㗎啦。咁其實你攞咗呢個簽證之後咧，你又可以申請佢有個 flat tax 啊，即係咧佢係 flat 咗喺100,000 euros， 即係10萬歐，係啦10萬歐。咁咧就係即係 depends on 你揾幾多錢啦。你揾好多個 millions 嘅話就梗係抵啦嚇。咁啊，因為意大利咧就即係而家嚇，因為佢有呢一樣嘅offer 啦，其實都吸引咗好多外面嘅人咧係嚟移民咧，就係做一個稅務嘅安排。咁啊，當然呢啲嘢我哋唔會詳盡喺呢度講啦。想了解多少少，梗係可以揾翻我公司啦嚇。今日咧我哋嗰個 iceglobal.com 唔知點解咧後面咧係唔喐嘅。咁但係唔緊要啦，大家都見到我個樣啊，咁可以上翻我公司 iceglobal.com 嘅網站咧就問我哋會有CS 嘅同事覆翻嚟啊嚇。Okay, and then we want to know the cultural differences between Italy and Hong Kong. What would you say?
Cultural differences. I mean, I say that we don't have to focus on cultural differences, but we have to focus on similarities.
Okay.
Because we are so, living in Hong Kong and talking to people, having friends, and socializing in Hong Kong teaches you that we have so many things in common.
Like what?
That should be, for example. Values such as family is something so important for us, and I mean I'm coming from the south of Italy where maybe this concept of family is even more I don't want to say more important because it's important everywhere, but we care probably a little bit more.
Right.
Here you find the same, and you find the traditions of family gatherings, for example, is something that for us is so important, and exactly is the same here.
Right.
Appreciation for culture is something so important. Cultural offer in Italy, of course, is very wide.
Right.
In Hong Kong, I mean, you have so many. The offer is so wide as well, and you have so many things and so many people interested in culture and in exploring also the culture of other countries. That is, I mean, so impressive. So there is a sort of openness which is very important, and that should be.
Similar in Italy.
Yeah.
咁佢就講其實咧就文化差異咧，佢就唔講啦，不如講下相同嘅地方啦。咁其實意大利嘅家庭觀念好重啦，就同香港人都係好類似啦。同埋香港人咧就係好 open，俾一啲全球唔同嘅文化或者人啊各方面嘅思想啦。咁佢意大利人咧都係咁嘅，好 open 嘅嚇。咁就we have a few minutes left, so if anyone has questions, please you can send it to us on the floor. 咁剩翻幾分鐘啊，大家有問題可以隨時問我哋。
Maybe I can also add that being two locations, let's say to Hong Kong and Italy, based on also on tourism, on the importance of tourism industry, to be welcome is something very important for both of us, and yeah.
OK， 咁佢都講，因為即係其實當然旅遊業係好重要啦，咁所以佢哋都好歡迎啊外面嘅人嚟嘅咁樣樣。So on that note, actually, we want to know is there a like a interest, like a huge international or expat community in Italy? I mean, like let's say in Hong Kong, it's a huge expat community, especially before the COVID. So I don't know if it should be the same there, right?
Well, we have, I think that according to the latest statistics, we have an international population of about 5 million people. which is almost 9%, 8.7% of the entire population.
That's a lot.
Most of them from Europe. From European Union countries, but also European countries not members of the European Union, such as Albania, for example. We have many people from North African countries. We have also a large community from China. So yes,
and
I mean.
Hong Kong?
Hong Kong as well.
Right,
I don't have the figure of Hong Kong
great,
itself,
no problem,
but China is one of the biggest.
OK， 咁佢就話其實喺意大利都有好多唔同國家嘅人嚟做嘢嘅，咁啊香港人咧佢佔咗7至8% 總人口啦。咁如果香港人咧想去嗰邊學習下做下嘢咧，咪絕對係一個好嘅經驗嚟嘅。So we want to ask you the last question. So what do you like? I mean, assuming do you like Hong Kong? And if you do, what do you like about us?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I like Hong Kong, and I mean, it is. I applied to be posted in Hong Kong. I'm very happy that.
Very nice of you to say that. Thank you.
Of course, now that the ministry finally accepted my application 2 years ago.
Yeah, we're so happy to have you.
And and after 2 years, I must admit that I mean, I would like to admit that I really like Hong Kong.
Thank you.
I like the vibe, the international component of the city, the fact that you can meet people from all over the world, and you can have exchanges and you have synergies, and you receive every day a lot of inputs from people you meet, local people, and the international community, and in my case also from the Italian community here. The Italian community is very well represented here. I'm very happy to deal with people that have very good reasons to live, work, and invest here in Hong Kong. And I mean, I consider myself not only happy but very lucky.
Oh, you're so kind. Thank you for saying that. 咁佢就話其實佢好中意香港啦，佢係特登申請嚟香港㗎。咁啊，終於佢哋即係佢老細啦嚇 approve 咗。咁佢就話喺香港2年咧，佢識咗好多人啦，同埋香港真係好國際啦。咁啊，全球嘅人佢都會識到啦。咁特別係有好多好嘅意大利人啊，喺呢度就同佢哋交流啊，各方面咧佢都好開心嘅。I have a few Italian friends actually. They're like really like super. I think interested. I would invite them to my show if possible.
Sure.
And so maybe one last thing before we wrap up is like, would you recommend like one particular restaurant, or what is your favorite, like Italian restaurant here? So maybe we can support them.
Sure. I think that we can discuss about that next time that we meet in my apartment with Neil. I will cook for you.
Oh, like I'll have to buy you wines then. Chianti.
And that is the most important restaurant that I would like to advise my apartment.
Okay, great. Yeah, awesome. So.
And of course, I'm saying that because I don't want to mention anyone in particular. Hong Kong has more than 500 Italian restaurants, and all of them are very professional and welcoming. The number of Italian chefs and Italian people working in the food and beverage is very large. It's a very big community, and we are very grateful to them for what they do in order to promote Italy as a whole.
OK， 咁佢就話我係咁問佢啦，喂，快啲講一間你最中意嘅意大利餐廳啦。佢話香港有500幾間，但係最好咧就係佢屋企，佢可以親自下廚啊。咁我希望真係有冇機會去到試下啦嚇咁樣樣。咁就So before we say goodbye and thank you, can you say something in Italian to our audience?
Something in Italian to the audience, yes, of course. Grazie Hong Kong per l'accoglienza e ci vediamo presto in Italia.
Translation, please, English.
Well, thanks Hong Kong for welcoming us, and I hope to see you soon all of you in Italy.
OK， 咁佢都係講多謝大家嚇。OK， so we have to wrap up, and thank you very much for coming to my show.
Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed it,
Sure.
and I'm sure my audience are very happy. So hope to see you again soon. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye bye. Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.